Doom 1 and 2 have been remastered with heavy metal soundtracks. They originally had heavy metal soundtracks, but they were like MIDI, like. Are
you recording?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, good.
Like that. Now they're like an actual guitar. Come on! It's awesome.
I know less about women than anyone in the world.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome. Ask us about our gluten-free menu. Give it up for your hosts, Mike and Darin.
Hello, I'm Darin.
I am Michael.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome. This is episode 218.
218.
218.
Come on down to the 218. We're going to drop it.
Yes, we're going to drop it like it's hot.
Mikey has nothing to tease. So, generally speaking, when Mikey has nothing to tease, he comes out of the gate swinging. So, you're welcome.
Tonight, I'm going to tell two stories of times where I've played a prank or did something that I thought was funny that pissed people off. So,
only
look forward
two
to
times.
Oh, no. There's just two stories I'm telling tonight. We've got more episodes to record, so I'm going to say that. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
I'm doing good. I got a ticket yesterday. I started telling the story. So I went to go see Mr. Matthew Box. Matt Box had his gallery opening.
Matthew Box is a musician, and he's a photographer, and he's a lifetime friend of Mike. Well, he went to college with you.
Yeah.
And I got to know Matt Box when, was it 5 years ago, 6 years ago?
Yeah, 7.
7 years ago when we all went to see the Utes, the U2. They came to Louisville. And at the capital of Kentucky, is it Louisville or Louisville?
Louisville.
It's Frankfurt. So, yeah, we all drove down there, and I just met him, and I instantly like this guy. He's a cool guy. So, anyway, but yeah, he's a musician, he's a photographer, and he had an art gallery.
Yeah, he just started taking pictures around the same time that we started this podcast, or close to that time.
Yeah.
So we follow each other on the Twitter/X. By the way, we've got news about that a little bit later in the show. And we kind of cross-promote, and I was excited because he announced he was having an art show, a gallery show. I don't know how these things work.
Yeah.
But basically, it was an excuse for me to go visit Athens.
Athens, Ohio.
And support my friend.
Not Greece, where they had the Olympics.
On the way, I was afraid I was going to be late. So
good excuse.
I was doing what one does when they're afraid they're going to be late. I was going exceptionally fast.
Yep.
Plus, it's Ohio. If you've ever driven through Ohio,
there's no need to slow down and look at it.
No.
Ain't nothing to see in Ohio.
No. I mean, if you do slow down, a cow would look at you and be like, really? There's nothing here but us.
Especially once you leave, if you're driving from Cincinnati to Columbus, that's the state capital.
Yeah.
My God, there's just mile after mile after mile of just field.
So I was in what the cop referred to as a 55-mile-an-hour zone.
That's what he referred it to as?
And I was going, according to him, 69 miles an hour. So he was driving on the opposite, it was one of those 2-lane roads, and he's driving the other way. And I had enough time. I looked up and I saw him because I wasn't paying attention to the road.
Right.
I was fiddling around with
my
other stuff in the car.
I
had some those nerd gummies.
Oh, I love those.
And like when multiple ones get stuck together, I had 4 of them stuck together.
You just put them all in your mouth at the same time.
Well, I had been doing that, but I was near the end of the package.
Okay.
And I started to feel like a fat, and I didn't want to keep putting 4 of these things in my face. You know what I mean? I had a moment of self-control. I'm like, I need to get the other 2 off. And I look up, and his lights were blaring. He wasn't even facing.
Did he whip it around like Roscoe P. Coltrane?
Yeah, he whipped it around like Roscoe with the lights on.
I love it. I'm going to get there.
And you know me. I'm a
scuffing up in my town, don't you?
If I'm nothing else, I'm a law-abiding citizen.
Okay.
So I pulled off on probably the least
Pull-offable.
good place to pull off.
Yeah.
And he came over, and small guy, and he came up, young guy.
So you could have taken him?
He did have a gun.
Well, I bet you looked at him and says, "You think you're hot with that gun, don't you, copper?"
I stuck my bald head out, and I said, should I not be here right now? Should I pull up? And he's like, yeah, why don't you get back on the main road here and then pull off a little bit up? There's an actual space where cars can pull off. I'm like, okay. I was kind of cattywampus.
That's an Ohio term.
Yeah, so then I pull up. He comes up to the window again. He's like, hi again.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Dave Lay.
And he said, do you have any weapons in the car? And I said, no.
Good answer.
I don't futz around with the cops.
No, you don't.
It's not a time for humor.
No.
And I didn't have very many one-liners to go along with that anyway, so it worked out. And
in my experience, they don't usually have that much a sense of humor.
And
they're not in the mood.
He said, do you know why I pulled you over? My brain said, because I was going fast as and trying to get these 4 gummy bears down to 2 gummy bears so that I can respect myself in the morning. That's what I thought.
Now you want to do that.
But what I said was I was going a little fast, and he said, yeah, you're going 69 to 55. And I said, holy And he laughed, and he's like, yeah, you're getting it. I was like, okay. I was like, I had no idea I was going that fast. He's like, well, he's like, these roads, they all look the same. They're all boring. We a lot of people get pulled over on this road. And I thought he was going to let me go.
Right.
And he went back to his car.
Did you unbutton your shirt? Because that works sometimes.
And then he came back with the big steel clipboard thing that says you're getting
Oh, you're getting it.
You're getting rode up, as they say. And he said, look, we have a lot of people speed on this road, and we're trying to cut down on it, so I gotta give you a ticket. He said a citation.
Okay. Not a ticket, but a citation.
Yeah. And I said, okay. And then I had to write my phone number. I forgot my phone number. It was embarrassing.
When do you call yourself?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I signed it, and then I went along my way. And I was pissed then because he was right behind me, and I couldn't resume speeding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was behind me for like 3 or 4 miles.
He was going the other way.
Yeah.
Can't he just turn back around?
Apparently not. I guess he wanted to make sure that I wasn't just going to take off again.
Dork.
Then he turned off some road, and then I just tore ass.
Just kept speeding.
On to Athens. So I was about a half hour late. But yeah, I did.
Hey,
I got to see Matt perform. So I have a video of his band performing.
Okay. And what's the name of the band?
The Yabba Dabba Dudes.
Oh, okay.
One of his bands.
He's in like 8 bands.
Yeah.
I can't get one band going, and Matt Box is in 8 bands.
And then his mom was there, and I knew his mom from college.
Mama Box was there?
Yeah, and Kim, her husband, and his wife. They were all there. And she's like, I actually am meeting you now in 3D. I've seen you on Facebook.
In 3D.
Yeah, she's like, you're actually here. And I exist.
You'd never met her? The
no,
wife?
Not in person.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you had.
Don't think I
What about
have.
Dan's wife?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I have met Dan's wife, Susan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
So how was the art show?
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was cool. I bought that art piece.
Okay.
And then I bought a key ring from a guy that could not hear. He gave me a note that said, I can't hear. Will you buy a key ring?
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know what to do in those situations. I've never been in that situation. And he was
I
right
haven't
there.
either. Yeah.
So I just bought one.
Yeah. How much was the key ring?
It's $10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I felt bad, but then I was like, because he's he was clearly had some physical issues. I felt bad for him because then he was like gesturing to other people, and then other people were much more assertive than I was. And they're like, no, thank you. And I'm like, okay, Karen.
I have a very good friend named Karen.
So he would offer them to other people.
Karen doesn't listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
And that was a conversation that I had with her a couple of days ago.
Yeah. Did you tell her to quit being a Karen and listen to the podcast?
Well, you know what? It came up on Facebook that Courtney Linton Oregon, as you call her, Jurgen. It says you guys have been friends for 14 years. And I'm like, we've been friends for longer than that, almost 40 years since we graduated high school together. And Karen hops on there and she goes, oh, yeah, you like Courtney more than you like me. And I said, well, Courtney listens to my podcast. And then that shut that down.
Anyway,
your hair looks nice today.
He was offering it to other people, and they just shut him down. And then I felt bad. I'm like, come on, jerks. Buy a keychain from the guy.
You're listening to Irritable Dad Syndrome, Cincinnati's comedy podcast.
I mean, would it kill you not to be so funny all the time? That's all I'm asking. This woman thinks I'm very funny, and now you're going to be funny, so what am I going to be? I'm going to be a short, bald guy with glasses who suddenly doesn't seem so funny.
Before the show started, Mike and I were talking about the Olympics. Breakdancing was in the Olympics for the first time ever. And what the hell were they doing? That was not breakdancing. That was like your mom. It says, hey guys, hey kids, look what I can do. And that's a mom attempting to breakdance to embarrass her kids at a birthday party.
Yeah,
that's what they were doing.
One of them did the T-Rex, did this thing.
I don't know what was going on, but I mean, I used to break dance. Okay, the closest I got to like on the floor was I could do a backspin, but I never could do what's called the windmill. I never could windmill, and I never even attempted to do the head spin. But I could do I could moonwalk, and then I could reverse moonwalk. That's where it looks like you're walking backwards, but you move forwards. I could do the four corners. I can still do the four corners. That's where it looks like you're walking, but you move in four different corners. Okay. When I worked at Channel 5, I would break that out and blow everybody's mind because we went to Red's opening day and there was a huge party outside of Red Stadium. I'm out there breakdancing. I'm doing the wave. I'm popping. I'm blocking. I do the shock. That's when whatever. I'm doing. And people were losing their minds.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody was doing any of that at the Olympics. Their breakdancing
not even the windmill. That seems like
they did the windmill, but like one rotation of the windmill.
That's just falling down gracefully.
There's no worm. There was no popping and locking and not. I'm like, I don't. Where's Ollie and Jerry with Shabba Ranks?
How do you rate breakdancing?
Apparently, very generously.
Did they have what music were they doing? DJ Jazzy Jeff?
I don't know. I didn't recognize the music. It wasn't Herbie Hancock. I know that.
Okay,
because that's what I used to throw down to Rocket by Herbie Hancock.
Okay,
yeah. I don't know. But now I'm hearing they're not going to do breakdancing again. But I don't know if that's true or not. I think kickball needs to be in the Olympics. Get the big ass red kickball.
Makes that sound when you kick
it. Separate everybody, boys versus girls.
Yeah.
And you kickball until it's time to go back to third period. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on.
We're recording on a weird night tonight.
We're recording on a Monday. Okay, so you know Mike Chisholm.
I do.
Mike Chisholm is the host of the Letterman podcast. Chisholm. Mike Chisholm is host of the Letterman podcast. And a few weeks ago, he made an appearance on a podcast by this guy named Chris. And the podcast is called There's Too Many Podcasts.
There are.
That's what I was going to say. And so Mike said, hey, you need to get in touch with this guy, Darin Cox. And he and his buddy Mike, you've got to talk to him. If you want to talk to somebody about podcasts, apparently Mike thinks we walk on water.
Okay.
I'm very flattered. Mike Chisholm speaks extremely highly of us and this podcast.
He's a good dude.
He is a good dude.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with him. Still, he's a good dude. So he tells this guy, Chris, you got to get in touch with these guys and have them on your show. And I remember when Don Smith had us on the Life Radio podcast early on, and I'm like, I'm going to pay it forward. So he reached out to me and says, I hear that you guys do a fun podcast, and I'd like to have you on. I said, absolutely. We were going to be on tonight, but unfortunately, Chris had to cancel. So, and I was going to invite him to participate in this episode.
Okay.
But anyway, if you get a chance, I'm still going to pimp. Go on the www and check out There's Too Many Podcasts. Yeah. And I think there's 8 episodes. Guy's from out of Cleveland, and he's a sportscaster.
Okay.
Got a really good voice.
Okay.
And he asks some very interesting journalistic questions.
Journalistic.
Yeah. But had we been on his show, the first thing I would have said was, there are too many podcasts. Not there is too many podcasts. And then he would have said, well, thanks for coming on, Darin, and shut it down.
This portion of our show is brought to you by the 4-Slice Toaster. Hi, I'm Dave Lay, and my family loves toast. Back in the day, before all this podcast money rolled in, I had a 2-slice toaster, and me and my family were just miserable. By the time the third and fourth piece of bread was toasted, the first and second pieces were already cold. And who needs that crap? Am I right? Get a 4-slice toaster and your breakfast will be 1,000 times better. The 4-slice toaster is also perfect for bagels, English muffins, frozen waffles, Pop-Tarts. The list goes on and on. The 4-slice toaster, available wherever quality small kitchen appliances are sold. Back to you guys in the studio.
A little bit of housekeeping while Darin's reading our Twitter. What do you call it now? X? Twitter?
X.
That thing.
Yeah, is a cesspool.
We still have an account there, but we're shutting it down, or whatever you call it.
Mike, God love him, every week posts videos to Facebook, to Instagram. Now we're on Threads, but he would post them on Twitter and the TikTok. And
YouTube.
Yes. And every time I would see an Irritable Dad Syndrome post, I would like it and retweet it, re-X it. I would re-X the tweet, the X, the thing.
Yeah.
I'm the only one.
Yeah, he's the only one.
I'm the only person who ever acknowledged us on Twitter.
Occasionally Matt Bucks would as well. Yeah, what's the point? And
hey, what happened?
If you spend any amount of time on X, you'll quickly realize that you shouldn't be.
What am I
spending
doing
an
on
amount
here?
of time. Yeah, why am I here? So
I joined Twitter, was it 12 years ago, 14 years ago, something like that. And I was really trying to make a name for myself. I'm still on there. Darin loves bacon. And I wasn't hugely successful. I was moderately successful. And I gained a small but loyal following. And I would get a decent amount of stars or likes or people who would come on there and look for what I was doing. And all of my followers on Twitter, X, are dead. Sadly, I think they've all passed away because nobody pays one damn piece of attention on X or X or Twitter, TwitX. When you fly
on a plane,
yeah, thank you, and they bring you a snack, they bring you what are called Biscoff cookies, and I absolutely love Biscoff cookies. Okay. The last time we flew, when we had our horrible flight.
And it was on the Delta.
It was on Delta.
Oh, they've got good ones.
Yes. Well, the last time we flew Delta, they did not have snacks. But Libby and I flew on American Airlines, and we got Biscoff cookies going to Dallas. We had Biscoff cookies going to Reno, and then we had Biscoff cookies coming back. This is how good my wife is. My wife is adorable, and I love her dearly. She saved her Biscoff cookies. She didn't want them when we were on the flight. And when we got home, after our week-long trip to California and Lake Tahoe and Yosemite National Park, Libby says, honey, I saved all my Biscoff cookies and you can have them if you want them.
Well, that's nice.
Are you kidding me? I was like, absolutely. Nice. Thank you. Yeah. So here's the thing. She said, I have 4 packages of Biscoff cookies, and I remember eating 3 of them, and I couldn't find the 4th pack of Biscoff cookies. I don't know where they went.
Okay.
Now, I am taking out the trash.
Oh.
Taking the trash out, and I roll it to the end of the driveway, and something falls out, and I pick it up, and it's a package of Biscoff cookies. I don't know how they got on top of the trash. I don't know how just the package of Biscoff cookies fell.
Yeah.
But
they were sealed.
They were sealed. This is that Seinfeld episode.
Yeah,
was it above the line?
Yeah.
Was it below the line? That's trash.
Yeah.
Right. It didn't have anything on it.
Okay.
It was sealed. I kept it. And I went in the house and I devoured these Biscoff cookies.
There we go.
Because I am a filthy, disgusting slob pig when it comes to these Biscoff cookies. I love them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I ate cookies that were in the trash that had fallen out into the road.
I fully...
The road, Mike.
I almost died.
And I'm like, okay.
I fully support that.
Me eat cookie.
Yeah.
The time has come for this cookie. Nom, nom, nom. Oh, nom, 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 nom.
I'll help you out here.
Okay.
So you don't feel as disgusting. I got a pizza out of the oven once in college.
Yeah.
In my apartment in college.
Yeah.
And it fell cheese down.
Okay.
On the floor.
Okay.
In the kitchen.
Okay.
I scooped it up, flipped it over on the plate, and ate it.
To dust it off?
Well, how do you dust off a cheese pizza? Just every once in a while I'd pick a hair out. But in my defense, I did come back and wipe the grease and stuff off the floor later because I didn't want to slip and fall.
Now, did you live in this apartment by yourself?
Yes.
Then
That's not that bad.
It's your filth.
It's not that bad. Yeah. It's my filth. It's going right back in me.
Exactly. Yeah. Anything that pizza fell in was already on you at some time.
That's true. That's true. That's how I justified it to myself.
No harm, no foul.
But I always think of that whenever I'm about to do something disgusting. I think, is this worse than or better than eating a pizza off of a floor?
Face down floor cheese pizza.
Yeah. I think a Biscoff cookie wrapped, falling off the top of the trash.
I don't know how it got in the trash.
It's practically pre-sanitized at that point. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it at all.
Well, it's almost like the cookie was talking to me. It was in the trash.
It wanted you to know.
It jumped out on its own.
It did a Toy Story.
It did. Buzz Lightyear threw the cookies out. Said, this dude,
here, you have at them.
But I was looking around the house like, she said she had 4 packages of cookies, and I've only had 3.
Yeah.
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by Lotus Biscoff Cookies. Hi, I'm Dave Lay, and I love traveling. It seems like every couple of months I get the urge to visit people and places anywhere on this great planet. And that's why I'm a big fan of Lotus Biscoff Cookies. Whenever I'm flying and the stewardess asks if I want a snack, I say, hell yeah, I want a snack, and make that snack a pack of Lotus Biscoff Cookies. Since 1932, Lotus Biscoff Cookies have been made with all natural ingredients. They're crunchy, and that caramelized flavor has made them the preferred choice of every major airline that serves snacks. Lotus Biscoff Cookies. Now those are some good cookies. Back to you guys in the studio.
I was going to ask you a question.
Okay.
Your car has the beep beep, the thing on the remote.
Yeah.
Okay. When you lock your car, do you always lock it with the beep beep with the remote, or do you?
You have to.
You have to.
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you? I'm not starting to start with you. Why do you have to?
You're starting.
Why do you have to?
Because of the Terminator, and I don't trust technology.
The Terminator.
Now,
the Terminator always locks the
Bess's car, and I'd venture to say your son's car have the latest. Is his car a push button? You push the button. Push button to turn it on.
No,
he actually uses the key.
No, Libby's uses the push button.
Okay.
Jacob has a key.
Okay, so Libby's car and Bess's car have the latest and greatest in key technology.
I wouldn't call it the greatest.
Listen to me. They have the latest and greatest.
I think it sucks.
Developed by NASA.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Somehow, this thing detects whether the key is in the car or not.
Mm-hmm.
If you really test it, leave your keys in there, and leave it for hours, it will not lock.
No, you can't lock the car.
But take your keys out and don't lock it and go in the house and come back out 10 minutes later, it's locked.
Yes, science!
I know that. Intuitively, I know that because that's what my Kia does. And my Kia, we've said before, is not the latest and greatest in technology.
No.
I know this. However, when I'm in Target and I'm walking away from the car, I will actually hear it lock, but if it doesn't beep, I stand there, even if it's raining, and go at it until it actually honks.
Okay, well,
mine honks.
Once again, you and Libby have something in common that's uncommon with me, because when I get out of the car, I press the lock on the door.
Oh.
And then I close it.
Okay. You go analog on it.
Like the cavemen. Okay.
It's like,
the car.
I listen to CDs and I push lock.
I do listen to CDs.
Yeah.
The car is locked.
Yeah.
Okay. And yet still, Libby and Jacob, my mom too, will say, "Did you lock the car?" And I said, "Yes."
Yeah.
Are you sure? Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Did you check it? Yes, I did. And this is me being I won't beep it. I won't do that because I want to see how many times they'll start twitching. Are you sure you lock?
Yeah.
I'm positive.
Yeah.
Because my car, my Honda CRV, you lock it on the side of the door, shink, it locks all 4 doors and the trunk.
Okay. Well, that's
It won't open because it's locked, right? Did you lock it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? It's locked. I'm like, go try it.
Yeah, just
put your hand on the door. Yeah. Try and get in my car. I dare you. I need because that's petty.
It's not petty. It's science.
It's science.
It is.
That's right.
Yes, science.
Bess's car will detect. She was getting into it because I thought it was an area thing.
Mm-hmm.
She was halfway in the car with her purse that had the key in it out. And I'm in there trying to start the car because it's hot. I want to get the air conditioning going.
Mm-hmm.
And I just said, can you swing your purse inside the car? And she does, and then it starts. Oh. I mean, that's how...
Yeah.
That's amazing to me.
I hate that. I want a key.
Mm.
And when I buy my next car, it's going to have a key.
It probably does have a key. Hers has a hidden key that I had to use once.
Right.
Because her fob died.
Right.
And it's got like a little thing. You push a button. It's like a switchblade.
Yes, but where's the keyhole?
There's a keyhole in all of the locks outside.
Uh-huh.
On the inside, there's
That's
no
how you
key.
Open the door, but how do you start
There's no keyhole on the inside that I know of.
For the engine.
That I know of.
Right.
But it tells you put the fob right on the start button and push the start button.
See, I don't like that.
Yeah. There's a little emergency thing.
You know
I
what?
haven't cracked it. But...
When did you, and this is for all you people out there, all y'all.
You people.
When did you people ever, tell me when you ever said, I can't get this key to work? Look, if it's the proper key, it's always going to open the door. Okay? I don't know why they said, we need to make this keyless easier.
Yeah.
Let's go keyless.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
There's no reason to go keyless.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
I'm a fan of keyless.
I don't care. There was no logical reason to get rid of the key. They're not saving people any time. They're not making life easier. My taxes haven't gone down since we went keyless.
Well, there's also no real reason to make the seat go instead of but they did
I
it.
tell you, you're going to break the seat. How do you break a seat?
I love it.
You mentioned science.
You two are just dumb as a bag of hammers.
Jacob has started watching Breaking Bad. Yes.
Yeah.
We're also currently watching This Is Us, and I know you've never watched This Is Us.
Watched that yet.
We are burning through This Is Us so damn fast, it'll make your head spin. We started 2 weeks ago.
This Is Us?
Mandy Moore, Milo Vermont, Rocky Balboa's son in Rocky 3.
Okay.
He plays the
Seth
dad.
Balboa.
Is it Seth?
I don't know.
What's Rocky Jr.'s name? I don't remember his son's name.
John
Stallone. John Stallone Jr. Yeah, we started watching that, and the boys are like, what is this show? And they're like, I'm not crying, you're crying. And we are burning through that so fast.
Okay.
We're already in season 4, episode 5, I think.
Okay.
But when we're not watching that, Libby, Jacob, and I will watch Breaking Bad. And we got through the bathtub scene.
Okay. Okay.
We just got through the scene that we talked about last week. Would you get off my ass? Can you do that for me just this time? I'd appreciate it. Yeah.
I really would.
Yeah, I really would. And oh my God, it was like when I watched The Fugitive with Jacob, right? And now I'm watching Breaking Bad with him, and he's like, "Oh my God!" I'm like, "Dude, this is
not. You have no idea,
no clue, what lies ahead, my child." And I strongly recommend when your child is of age, watch Breaking Bad again, because this will be my 3rd time around watching Breaking Bad.
And you've got the barrel. You guys watching?
I do have the barrel. No, we're watching it on Netflix because it's easier.
Yeah.
When it goes off of Netflix, it'll go to one of the other streaming services probably, but I'll always have it on the barrel.
Yeah. So the barrel has all the commentary too.
Yes. Yes.
That is golden. And they run the commentary like we run our podcast.
Right.
The first few commentaries are like, is this on? Is it? I guess people like commentaries. I'm going to talk about baking cookies while the thing. And then as the seasons go, they get more and more professional until you get near, like from season 3 on, it's really, really good. You have Bryan Cranston will come in on the episodes that he directs.
Yes.
And he'll point out like things that are behind things, like you can't see it, but this is what's happening over here. And
well, see, that's what I miss about DVDs, because we used to rent DVDs at Blockbuster.
Yeah.
And when they would come in, they would have director commentary or audio commentary from somebody. And I'm telling you, 2 of the greatest audio commentaries, I'm going to expand on this. Any of the Christopher Guest movies, Best in Show, A Mighty Wind, Waiting for Guffman, all of those had amazing audio commentaries from Christopher Guest and with the eyebrows.
I got Morgan Freeman
from shit. Yeah, Morgan Freeman. Yeah, that guy with the eyebrows from Schitt's Creek. Eugene Levy. Those audio commentaries were amazing, and they were just as good as the movie. Now, there was a Disney movie out years ago called Brother Bear. Okay. Bob and Doug McKenzie from SCTV Network were the 2 moose. Okay. Hey, what's going on? Because the bear is over there, and I guess we got,
Yeah.
And they're hilarious.
Yeah.
The 2 moose do the audio commentary. And oh my God, I'm about to piss myself because they're talking about how cold it was the day they shot this scene.
Yeah.
And man, my antlers were itching that day.
Oh.
They were doing it in full moose character.
Okay.
About the treatment that they had on set while making Brother Bear.
Okay.
And it was so hilarious. But the best audio commentary out there is Weird Al Yankovic on UHF. Yeah. He's like, we shot this on 1469 Sandy Street in Phoenix, Arizona. And Jay Levy, the director, he's like, how do you remember all this stuff? And Weird Al just had just a fountain of knowledge. And this is this, and this is that, and bam, 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 bam. And it's really, really, if you have the DVD for UHF, listen to the audio commentary on that.
I never pass up an opportunity to bring up U2 on this podcast.
Yes.
I will say that on the, and you'll appreciate this, the All That You Can't Leave Behind tour, the Elevation tour, they released, the DVD was the Boston show.
Okay.
On the special features on the second DVD, there is I think they do it for 7 of the songs. They have what's going on inside the mixing room.
Okay.
During the show.
Oh.
And you're hearing what the director is yelling to the crew and the band.
Yeah.
And it is absolutely hilarious. It's awesome. During Where the Streets Have No Name, it's just, I'm laughing myself silly because he's losing his mind as they're going. And as it's kicking in, he starts jumping around and go, come on, Larry, go, Larry, go. Whoa. He just starts screaming and he's like, bring up the left lights, bring up the left lights. Whoa. And he loses his mind.
Yeah.
This portion of our show is brought to you by JD's 24-hour drive-through pawn and gun auto parts pharmaceutical adult gift bait and tackle discount cigarette outlet.
So you're from Johnson City, Tennessee.
Johnson City, Tennessee. I lived there. We moved there in 85, and I lived there to 1999.
So you've been on like the highways and the roads there. They have like the rest stops. Have you ever been to one of those rest stops that has no plumbing? It's just you're sit on the toilet if you dare, and it's a pit that it goes down into.
No, I haven't seen that at a rest stop.
Been in one of those?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
No, but when we were in Yosemite, like every place we went had that.
Okay, so there's
God, did I miss? I was so excited to get to the airport. They had an actual frickin' toilet.
So there's some like that in the bowels of Ohio, where I come from.
Yeah,
and different areas. You go in there, and they have a unique smell to them.
Yeah. Oh, do they?
It's feces elevated. It's another level of feces,
and you can't smell it without hearing the flies.
Yeah.
Whenever you smell that,
you exactly. And I usually get a little concerned that a part of it I'm going to take with me. Like it's not going to completely leave me. It's going to be stuck in my lungs.
Absorb into your soul.
And that if anybody lights anything, something could catch fire.
Yeah.
I let a fart about 3 minutes ago that smells exactly like one of those rest areas.
This is gross, but I've been holding one in since we started. That's why I'm kind of talking the way
I'm over here basking in it.
Yeah.
It's like a turkey baster.
At the beginning of the show, I was talking about how there were over the years there have been some pranks that I've played, and there are some jokes that I've made that seriously pissed people off. And I'm going to tell 2 stories tonight.
Okay.
And I'm going to have you choose which one I tell first.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was the poll I put in my boss's office.
Okay.
Or there was the time I wouldn't stop calling a guy Carl.
Okay. I really want to hear the Carl, but tell the pole one first.
Okay. When I worked at my first TV station in Johnson City, Tennessee, I was doing promotions, and I'm not going to give my boss's name.
Harold.
No, a female.
Okay.
So I had an editing bay where I edited on what's called Avid, the Avid technology. And I was in there editing some commercials, and the production assistants and the directors, a lot of them would come back in because I'm one of the cool guys.
Yeah.
People love coming in and sitting and chatting with me. So there's 3 or 4 people in my office in my editing bay. And one of the directors had gotten into a fight at a bar the night before, and he had a shiner, a black eye.
Okay.
My boss, a female, comes in, and for the record, she started this.
Okay.
She looked at my director friend, and she says, hey, I see you got a black eye. Were you in a fight at a strip bar last night or something? And he
It's a very specific question.
He said, yeah, I went to the strip bar because I was looking for you.
Okay. Well, all right. Okay.
And then I thought, could I make this worse? I thought, yes, I could.
Yeah.
And I said, can you imagine her at a strip bar? People were like, hey, move away from the pole. We can't see you. Because she's not skinny.
Yeah. Okay.
But she was thin.
All my HR alarms are going off right now. All of them.
But when I said, move away from the pole, we can't see you. Oh, God, did that get a laugh.
Yeah.
And I don't think she liked that very much.
No.
And she goes, okay. Again, she started it.
Okay.
And then she's like, okay, I got to go. And she left. This was an opportunity where I could have just let things go, or I could have made things worse. And what did I do? I made things worse.
There you go.
I called up a buddy of mine at the station. I said, hey, I think we ought to put a poll in her office. And he said, absolutely. So the news is going on. The 6:00 evening news is going on. We go into the studio and walk into where they store all the lights and stuff. And there's a bunch of metal poles there where they used for what's called the grid. He grabbed one end of the pole. I grabbed another end of the pole. This 10-foot long pole. We walk through the studio while they're doing the 6:00 news. And the weather guy gives us the camera people turn and look. And we're like, hi, give them a wave.
Yeah.
And we go into her office after hours.
Yeah.
And we take one of the tiles out of the ceiling and we put a pole in her office.
Okay. This is
the next morning.
Yeah.
I pull into work and my friend Natasha is standing out on the back dock waiting for me. And she said, you do not want to go in there.
She didn't think it was that funny.
She did not think it was funny at all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
At all.
Yeah.
And my buddy was already in there getting what's referred to as a good talking to. We got our asses handed to us.
Yeah.
I went in and she was not happy. I had to promise I would never do it again.
Yeah.
I had to remove the pole. I had to replace the ceiling tile.
Okay.
And we vacuumed up the carpet where we did that. And we promised never to do that again. And nobody spoke about this.
Did you say, in my defense, I thought
it was funny?
Did you? I wish it's a perfect opportunity.
I wish I had. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
But weeks and weeks later, one of the higher-ups, higher than my boss, had said something to us about how some people in the building need to learn how to take a joke. Anyway, I apologized profusely.
Yeah.
And learned my lesson, and I thought I do need to be more professional.
Did you giggle at all when you were apologizing?
No.
Okay.
Oh my God, I was scared to death.
Okay.
Did
you think you were going to be fired?
I thought this was my last day at the TV station.
Okay.
And I did learn my lesson.
Yeah.
And I realized that yes, she is my boss.
Yeah.
And like on The Office, it's like, look, you need to respect me.
Yeah.
And I should have paid more respect.
Yeah.
So I learned my lesson.
Okay.
And I never did that again. Now, when I worked at Winn-Dixie, I used to work at a grocery store. This was in high school and then the first couple of years that I was in college. And we were all famous for calling people something that's not their name. It's not so much a nickname. It was just, we'd give people a different name. Every single truck driver who ever made a delivery to Winn-Dixie, we called him Will.
Okay.
And he would call us Will.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, Will, how's it going? Pretty good, Will. How are you? Good. Our manager called the truck drivers Will. Our produce people called the truck driver Will. Everybody was Will.
Okay.
I used to have an assistant manager there named Oscar, named Tony, but I called him Oscar, and he would call me Oscar. And then there was a guy who worked there named Chester. He called everybody neighbor. So we would do that all the time.
If you guys ever had to fill out a police report, this would be it's not good.
So we had a guy, a new person, name is Bob. Okay. And I learned this from David Letterman. Okay. David Letterman would call Anton Fig was always Anton Zip. Or Buddy Rich Jr. He rarely ever called him Anton Fig. He always called him Anton Zip. Okay. And then he was talking about Jimmy Fallon one time, and he called him Lonnie Donegan.
Okay. Well,
you know?
Yeah.
And I thought that was funny. So this guy named Bob works there, and I called him Carl.
Yeah.
And then the next day I saw him, hey, Carl, how's it going? And he says, my name's not Carl, my name is Bob. I said, okay. Third day I called him Carl.
Yeah.
And he corrects me again. My name isn't Carl, my name is Bob.
Yeah.
Okay. Fourth day, same thing. Fifth day, same thing. Sixth day. You'd think
you get catch
that
on.
I would have caught on. Well, I knew, but did I care? No, I didn't care.
No.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And he's like, look, you're going to stop calling me Carl.
Okay.
I'm like, whatever you say, Carl.
Oh.
I come out of work one night, the store closed.
That's you get a 2x4 up the side of your head.
He brought like a dozen friends or something.
Okay.
They're out in the parking lot. They have formed this giant circle around my car, like Michael Jackson in the Beat It video.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's like, we're stopping this right now.
Oh my God.
You are going to stop calling me Carl, or I'm going to beat your right here, right now.
Oh my Lord.
And I'm like,
You had to have called him Carl more time. He said, Carl, what are you talking about?
I said, okay, all right. I'm not going to call you Carl anymore.
Yeah.
Bob.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it.
Uh-huh.
Everybody watching, I'm not going to get my ass kicked because I won't stop. I'm going to stop calling him Carl. His name is Bob.
And none of them laughed.
They were all
serious?
looking like tonight's the night that we lose Darin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I never called him Carl again.
Yeah.
The funny part about this story,
Okay.
my buddy Adam got transferred to a different Winn-Dixie,
Oh, no.
where Tony,
Yeah.
Oscar went and became manager at another Winn-Dixie, and Adam followed him to that store. And so Adam worked at a completely different Winn-Dixie. And then Carl,
Yeah.
Bob also got transferred
Yeah.
to the store. And when he got there, every single person who worked there called him Carl. Now, listen, I doubt seriously that Bob is listening. And Bob, if you're listening, I'm going to apologize. You said it, I don't know how many times. And I should have just caught on and figured out that you didn't like it for whatever reason. And I apologize if I offended you or if I pissed you off. And he told me I had so many opportunities to stop doing this. But did he need to get that pissed about it?
Yeah, I mean,
I wasn't, hey, face. And I wasn't calling him anything despairing. I wasn't mean.
yeah, you didn't call him a hot Carl.
No,
you called him Carl.
I was just annoying.
Yeah.
I was so annoying. And I know you're like, God, Darin, annoying?
Yeah.
I was so annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you ever really piss somebody off, Mike?
Let me think if I pissed somebody off to that degree.
I mean, he was going to drag me from one end of the parking lot to another. He studied karate.
Oh.
He was in a stance.
Karate. Yeah.
He was going to whoop and then wham.
Yeah.
He was going to give me the old 1-2.
Put the whoop on you.
There was going to be two hits. He was going to hit me, and I was going to hit the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bob, again, if you're listening, I'm sorry. And I'm not giving the guy's last name. I don't remember his last name.
see, that's the curse of being funny.
God, I was annoying.
You out there listening, you draw your own conclusions of where you think any of this funny at all. But we're having a blast.
Yes.
It's the curse of it is you'll be in situations that clearly are not calling for humor.
Right.
But you'll think, man, it'd be funny if somebody would just say this. And then you got to weigh your options.
Yeah.
Am I going to be the guy to say this thing? And I think, tell me if I'm wrong, when you're in your 20s, which is probably what you were at the Winn-Dixie, that's when, I'm absolutely going to say that thing. I was saying it.
Because I'm hilarious.
I can't wait. You'll be in situations, I can't wait till I think of something crazy and silly and stupid to say. And boom, there it hits. And then you kind of gain control of yourself as you go through life.
Right.
I'm starting to hit that age again where I'll just say the thing, you know, where I want to say the stupid thing to see how many people I can get to either gasp or laugh.
I should. I mean, it's like he was. I knew I was pissing him off, and I just kept going. Now I feel like.
No, you're not. It's like the story, the Sam story I told a few weeks ago. Yeah, it was clear to everyone involved that this was not being viewed at in a kind way by the person. But he just kept doing it.
That was hilarious.
Each time he did it was funnier than last.
It was
even after it got serious. I was just praying and turning, please hit the ground and say, Sam, one more time. Yeah, so I wonder how many wars have started because of something like that.
But can you imagine, like, if the cops had showed up to the parking lot, or like the next day if my general manager asks, Darin, how come both of your arms are broken? I'm like, well, I wouldn't stop calling Bob Carl. Right?
The further you take it, the funnier it gets. More people need to recognize this. Yeah.
Now I feel bad that I'm dredging it up 40 years later.
No, you should feel bad that you eventually stopped.
I should have. Well, I did think it was funny when he went to the other store, and then everybody.
Did you get any follow up? Did they say anything about how he reacted?
He was not happy.
Okay, yeah. So there was a guy.
I mean, all the baggers, all the stock crew, all the guys in the produce department. I think even the guys in the meat department. Are you the new guy, Carl?
I think I've told this story on here before, but nobody listens anyway. I'll tell it again. I used to work at an oil refinery. And I'm not going to use the guy's actual name.
Right.
Because I'm pretty sure he still works there. I'll just say Lonnie Stevens.
Lonnie Donegan.
Let's just say his name is Lonnie Stevens.
Okay.
Lonnie. So I was in the labor crew. And so we would do labor, you know. As one does.
As one does when they're in the labor crew.
And then we would take breaks where the operators took their breaks. So we were the lowest of the low in the refinery. You had the labor people, which was us.
Yeah.
Then you had the first-year operators, second-year operators, senior operators. Then you go up to the engineers and beyond. So we were the guys where if you said, hey, I stepped in some crap out in the parking lot. You go clean it up.
Right.
I had to go clean it up.
Yeah.
And there was one of the operators, Lonnie Stevens. Was a stickler for the rules. You get a 15-minute break.
Okay.
And
no more, no less.
And no more, no less. You go here to get your Coke. You go here to smoke your cigarette if you smoke, and you go here to take your break. What are you doing over there? Are you taking a break? Because you're not supposed to be taking your break right now. You're supposed to be that was Lonnie Stevens.
Right.
Okay. Stickler for the rules. And he would do that to everybody, even the senior operators. The only people he wouldn't do that to were the engineers.
Okay.
At this place, when an engineer walked in the room, it was, you remember in Aliens, the movie Aliens, when the aliens would show up, suddenly everyone's demeanor changed.
Well, yeah, they had in their pants. Yeah, they were running.
Yeah, it didn't matter what was happening.
Hey, what happened?
They're playing with Ripley's cat,
they're like,
or they're talking to Newt about her family that left her in the laundry vent.
They're like, guys, I think we have a situation.
When an alien walked in the room, that's when Hudson starts losing his game over, man. Hicks gets that serious
you
look.
lead the troops, man.
Yeah, Vasquez.
Game over.
Yeah, Vasquez turns around the thing, let's get up. Their demeanor changed.
God, I had a friend in high school who, it was one of those things.
Yeah.
Game over, man, game over. His girlfriend, it drove her crazy when he would do that. But he knew I thought it was funny. So he kept saying, game over, man.
Yeah.
You lead the troops, game over.
Yeah. So that's how this place was when an engineer walked in the room. So Lonnie Stevens had nothing on the engineers. But everybody below an engineer, he felt like he was in control of.
Yeah.
So we had a stencil made up. Lonnie Stevens. Now, on everyone's locker, or everyone had a locker. We didn't. The laborers didn't.
No.
But all the lockers had
Screw
everybody's
them.
name stenciled. So Lonnie Stevens had his name
In stencil.
Lonnie Stevens in stencil.
Stevens. Yeah.
We took that stencil.
Uh-huh.
Now, as labor, we were all over the refinery. This place was huge.
Right.
Everyone used trucks to get around. It was like a small city.
Okay.
We put Lonnie Stevens' name on reactors, on storage tanks, on other trucks.
This is exactly what I would have done.
In the mess hall where we would eat, in the parking lot, in front on spaces, over to the engineering building, we would find areas where we could just put it. Lonnie Stevens' name was everywhere. I was there for 3 years during the summers.
Yeah.
And every summer we would go and we would have contests. Who could come with the most creative place to put Lonnie's name? And it pissed him off so much. He had a mustache, by the way. It pissed him off so much.
Of course he does.
Yes. It pissed him off so much because he's such a rule stickler. And then the engineers...
You're wasting stencil.
Yeah, every once in a while the engineers would come in. Remember Aliens, they'd walk in. Is there a Lonnie Stevens here? And Lonnie... yeah, he's like, why is your name in the parking lot?
On the reactor.
In the reactor. And Lonnie, his face would go blood red. He would have and we would all watch, and we would do what you're doing. We would laugh. Everyone, all of them laughed themselves silly, which meant nobody knew who did it. Of course, me and like a few other people were the ones who did it.
Right.
It was the gift that never stopped giving. That was all mostly in the first year. In my third year there, Lonnie was still there. He'd come back in. Hey, Lonnie, what's going on? And we would go out to work on something. And there'd be a pipe. There'd be a pipe that said Lonnie Stevens.
Fun fact about Lonnie Stevens is when he left the band, his brother Donnie Stevens filled in, and then his other brother Ronnie Stevens is lead singer of 38 Special.
Yeah, just a different letter. But it just, every once in a while, if I'm ever feeling down, it makes me feel a little bit better to think somewhere. And I know he tried to get rid of them as he found them. I know he hasn't found them all. He can't have. I'll tell you, anybody who knows what refinery I'm talking about, you can figure it out.
Oh, of course.
People can figure. There's not that many.
Together.
There's not that many in the northern area.
Refinery, Mike Odell.
There are massive storage tanks that you can see from the highway. They hold hundreds of thousands of gallons of stuff. Lonnie Stevens' name is on, I think, all of them.
Once again, you and I share the same brain.
And that's like an investment. It's just like when the people called him Carl at the other place, you invested in that.
Oh, yeah.
Payoff, and you got it later. It's like, it's beautiful. We're 20 plus years. I'm sure if Lonnie hasn't retired yet, he's close to retiring. I guarantee you within the past few years, an engineer has come up to him. Lonnie, why is your name on the underside of the toilet in the engineering building?
That's brilliant. Oh, I wish I had done that. Just put Carl everywhere.
Wonder if you ever ate at a Carl's Jr. Do you think it would piss him off and make it so he can't eat it?
In Johnson City, they called it Hardee's.
Okay.
It didn't turn into Carl's Jr. until like 5 or 6 years ago.
Are those the same?
Yeah, Hardee's and Carl's Jr. are the same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I don't understand. The management's like, you know what we need? A different name for half of our restaurants. That's how we keep continuity.
Well, it's like Dunkin' is called Dunkin' now. Just Dunkin'.
Yeah.
Just Dunkin'.
Yeah.
But then they say DD up at the top, double D.
Right.
So I'm all confused of what's going on in that building. By the way.
Yeah, okay.
Our local Dunkin'.
Yeah.
Dunkin'. It sounds weird to say. Our local Dunkin' Donuts. I'm just going to call it what it is.
If you say Dunkin' Donuts, it doesn't sound weird at all. You just say Dunkin'.
There's a
take cream off it. It's just, hey, you want to go to Crispy?
I'm a regular there. I go there all the time.
Yeah, every morning.
Way too much. They know me.
You get a donut, you get a black coffee and a bottle of water.
I've changed up a little bit.
Okay.
I bring my own water now.
Finally.
Cut that out.
My God, you figured out that you weren't going to be able to send a kid to college.
And I also get cream and sugar in my coffee.
Yeah.
And I
have to.
Sometimes I don't get a donut.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this lady that works there that's always scowling at me.
Can't imagine why.
She stands by the food area, and then when I pull up, if she happens to be in there, she just scowls at me.
Yeah.
Today, I had a day off. I went in there. I'm going to get some donuts. I don't like to order donuts from the drive-thru because you can't see them.
Right.
You know, I don't
No,
want to.
I want that one.
Yeah.
The one on that.
Yeah. The one I'm pointing at.
Up, over.
Yeah.
Come on, Linda.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah. Do you know what fingers mean?
Yeah.
What this means?
Oh, she knows what a finger means. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, Linda.
this went sideways.
Lonnie Stevens.
She was the person to give me donuts.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was all business.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'd like a coffee with hot or iced.
Oh. Schnell.
Yeah. The coffee Nazi. Yeah. She was like, I was like, hot. And she said, donuts. Yes.
I want those hot too.
I'd like 6.
Okay.
She has the box right there.
She whipped it out.
One fluid motion.
Oh. Damn, Linda.
I'd like the cake. This one? And it wasn't the cake. It was next to the cake. And I said, no, the cake, the plain cake.
Yeah.
One of my kids likes plain cake donuts.
Okay.
I don't understand that.
Yeah,
it's like getting a water-flavored icy. I don't get it.
That's like getting a piece of pizza without cheese or sauce.
Yeah.
It's just bread.
It's bread. Yeah. Give me a triangle piece of bread.
Yeah. I'd like a round piece of bread, please.
Yeah. And
actually, do you have any bagels in there?
Yeah. She was not happy with me at all. Story goes nowhere. Yeah. It's just this woman has worked there for at least 5 years at this point, or 4 since they opened. She's always been scowling at me from the food. This is our first chance to actually interact, and it went about as much as well as I thought it would go.
What does she have against you?
I don't know.
You're a paying customer.
Maybe I have no hair. She's mad at that. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. Okay, you don't come off to me as an ass.
I've been told that I did in college. My nickname
that was years ago.
Back in the day.
That was back in the Lonnie Stevens days.
Back in the Lonnie Stevens, I was kind of an ass. I did. I messed with him. Yeah, I'll give you the real name after the show.
I'm going to say one more thing, and then we've got to wrap this up because I don't know that we can have any more fun than we're having tonight.
Yeah.
A year ago, maybe 2 years ago, I can't remember how long, we did an episode called Cicadas Banging on the Internet.
Oh, yeah.
And I found it was on the Southern Culture on the Skids website, and someone had posted a picture of 2 cicadas getting it on. And I'd commented that, hey, look, they're 2 consenting adult cicadas having fornication.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't be posting pictures of them on the internet because now you've turned them into cicada porn, right? They're just minding their own business. Yeah. Right. Well, it happened again. I saw a woman who I'm Facebook friends with posted pictures of fiddler crabs mating on top of oysters. And so now it's like, now we got fiddler crabs banging on the internet.
Like a fiddler threesome.
On the roof.
Yeah.
What? And they didn't ask for that.
No.
They're just one.
Neither did the oyster.
No.
Yeah.
That's like interspecial. Yeah. It's like one fiddler crab sees a really hot fiddler crab, says, I got to get a piece of that.
Hello.
And then... Yeah, and then someone just takes their picture and posts it on the internet.
Yeah.
I think that's wrong.
Yeah, I do. I agree.
And that story goes nowhere.
Perfect microcosm of this show.
You know who would be against that?
Who?
Lonnie Stevens.
Lonnie Stevens. All right.
Carl.
We've got to go.
I want you guys, all y'all,
all yins.
I want yins to go to IrritableDadSyndrome.com. If you go to our website, you can become a patron, and you can also go back 3 or 4 episodes and listen to our Best of Volume 4. And if you go back another week, you can hear Mike's vacation stories and my vacation stories. We've got a lot of really good episodes on IrritableDadSyndrome.com.
They're fun.
It is. And you know what? The only reason Mike and I do this podcast is because we have so much fun doing it.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoy listening to it as much as we enjoy doing it. Take care. I hope to see you next week on Irritable Dad Syndrome.
Yeah.
Irritable Dad Syndrome is a Mike Odell, Darin Cox production.
I think we left it all on the field, Mike. We left it all on the field.
Not Karen. All right, you need to edit that out because Matt's mom's name is Karen. I don't want to make it sound. It wasn't her. I used to be a jerk. I don't know if you know
What?
that. I used to be.
No.
And that's when Eminem came out with the Slim Shady at around the same time that I was a jerk. It was like a match made in heaven. That was my jam.
Please stand up.
And I did.
What are you doing?
Yeah, it's two consenting.
They're two consenting
cicadas.
adult. Sorry.
These kids today and their damn
I know. Everything's plus.
streaming and plus and X Files and X-Men.
Venmo. It's on Venmo Plus. People who listen to the episode when it drops have no idea.
They don't have any
nor do
idea
they
what
care
the
what
hell's
day it
happening.
drops.
Oh, wait. They're touching. Our purple poles are touching. There, look at that.
Our purple poles are touching.
That's like an optical illusion.
Yes.
That looks weird.
I know.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Bye-bye.